I've recently binged over 300 hours of anime, and after multiple coffee runs, several late nights, and a few uninterrupted flights across the country and back, I have compiled a list. A list of the only thing in anime that matters: men. You may be wondering why I am qualified to present to you this list, considering there are many people who've watched more anime than me, but let me present to you my qualifications. It's very brief, a quick read. I am gay. So I understand men very well. I honestly at this point should be hired as a consult by anime companies to help them construct the most irresistible male characters that people will be begging to buy merch of. The way I was almost begging to buy this voluptuous ass mouse pad of Zoro, but I didn't, because I know I have work to do. I've only watched 300 hours so far of anime. Anyway, you guys, before we get into this list, if you would consider subscribing, it would mean the world to me. Let's pull up a subscriber count now. Impressive. So if you want to help me raise that, definitely subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into the hottest guys in anime, a tier ranking, my magnum opus. Let's get into the list, guys. Alright everyone, pay attention. We're gonna get into the tier rankings so that no one has any confusion. The bottom tier is going to be the trash tier. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Above that, we are going to have the I think of them as overrated tier. When I say overrated, I've scoured the internet and people say a lot of good things about these characters and they think they're very hot. I personally don't see it. Above that, we have the I think of them as a brother tier. So I'm not friend zoning them, I'm family zoning them. They may be cool, but I'm definitely not gonna be spending my hard-earned OnlyFans money buying plushes of them and then sleeping with them. Not that I do that already, but anyway, above that tier, we are going to have the mid tier. The tier above that will be the I'm beginning to simp tier, aka my cheeks are a little pink when I think about them, but it's nothing compared to the husband tier, which is nothing compared to the god tier, aka the step on me tier, which is also very self-explanatory. At the end of the video, I'm going to be revealing my number one, so stick around to the end of the video. Give me that watch, that view duration that I need. Maybe I'll get some AdSense money if you stick around long enough, although I'm not monetized yet. I have 0 subscribers as of now. So consider subscribing, and without further ado, we are going to start with our first anime, which is Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter actually got me into anime, Chimera Ant arc. I know it's kind of a controversial season. I needed to rush to CVS after and get a bunch of Gatorade to replenish my electrolytes because I wept them all out. So we're gonna start off with, not to start off on a low note, we're gonna start off with Killua, okay? I see Killua lauded across the internet as being hot. I like him as a character, but where's the heat? Like, that's my question. Where's the heat? You know, if this was a Chinese food menu, he wouldn't even have one pepper. Like, I'm confused. Like I said, I think he's a cool guy, but every single time I see him ranked like 24th hottest anime guy of all time, I'm like,
huh? What? Oh. Okay.
So to me, he's overrated. Let me know what you love about Killua in the comments below, but I'm going to rank him as overrated, and before you throw your tomatoes at me, we're gonna talk about Hisoka. Hisoka is also, I mean, listen, the guy has great proportions. Like, as an OnlyFans content creator, which, shh, keep that a secret, don't tell anyone about that. As an OnlyFans boy, I wish I had proportions like him. When he stepped out of the shower, he knew all the gym bros were gonna be quaking. I would follow his workout routine, but do I think he's hot? He's a little too crazy for me. And listen, I love me some crazy, but his brand of crazy's not typically one that I shop for, right? Next, we're going to talk about Leorio, the first guy that's going to be in our mid tier. When I started watching season 1, I was like, oh, he's my guy. If he's not in season 2 onward, I'm not gonna watch it. And then he wasn't in season 2 onward, I still watched it. Leorio's a little bit mid. I liked him starting out, and then after 300 hours of other animes, he's mid. As for our first guy in the husband tier, we're gonna put Knuckle in the husband tier. I love a big softie. Knuckle is strong, and then he has these little puppies come up and lick him. It's just cute. He's just a very cute guy. Husband goals, right? Our first god tier character is going to be Kuroko. This may reveal some attachment style issue I have, that I'm attracted to someone who's, you know, conducting an orchestra on top of a building as some guy gets eaten alive by fish. There is something about Kuroko, especially with the short hair, that I am just into, you know? He's just very sinister in a... I don't know, he's hot. I don't know what you want me to say. He's just a very attractive character. And maybe it's the... I don't know. The voice, the vibe, the power.
The muscles.
So that is Hunter x Hunter. Those are the men that are standouts, at least that I have strong opinions about from Hunter x Hunter. Now we're gonna move on to Pokemon, okay? I was into Pokemon since 1999 or 1998. I was like 5 or 6 years old when it first came out. I actually have a lot of like shadowless cards. No, I mean, no I don't. Don't come rob me. But let's talk about the Pokemon anime. There's 3 standouts from Pokemon that I'm going to talk about, okay? Now that I'm filming, I'm realizing Lance should be part of it, but he's a little mid for me. But anyway, the first one is going to be Brock. Brock, I love a man who can subvert gender norms. And in 1999, with that frilly pink apron, making his tea, and then beating our asses down in the gym, although he didn't really do that, he got his ass beat down in the gym. But he just is an all-encompassing guy who I feel like is a husband goals, right? He is a husband material. Also, I love that he goons over women, right? I too goon, but it's over men. So I understand Brock. I am, in my mind, his husband. And then we're gonna move on to the next guy on the list, which is Lieutenant Surge. Lieutenant Surge, we have to acknowledge, catfished us all. Like, he used way too much Facetune or something. I don't know how we went from this to this. This was the anime, this was him in pictures. They say the camera had 20 pounds or something. I don't know what happened there. He like was de-ossified for the anime. But if we're talking about the Facetune version of Lieutenant Surge, he's a hot character, right? Still kind of mid. Even the standouts from Pokemon are kind of mid to me apart from Brock. So we're gonna put him in the mid category, and then we are gonna move on to the last guy standout from Pokemon. It is gonna be Norman. I know this is a weird choice. 9-year-old Jack though, when I downloaded my illegal torrent, my illegal Japanese version Sapphire torrent, and I played it on the computer, Norman did something to me, and I don't know why. I also remember him being Wally's dad. I don't remember him being my dad, but apparently he's my dad, which...
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
I'm beginning to simp for him, and I do not know why. Or he's like caught between that and mid. So yes, those are the 3 standouts from Pokemon, and next we're gonna move on to Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, I just finished the Swordsmith Village arc. Listen, I need a break from Demon Slayer. It's too emotional for me. When they give backstories to the demons, you can bet your ass that I'm gonna have a headache after from trying not to cry. But anyway, let's talk about the 3 main ones from Demon Slayer. We have Tanjiro, we have Zenitsu, and I always forget the final one's name, the boar guy. What is it? I have a paper down here.
Inosuke.
Okay, Tanjiro, I'm beginning to simp for him. He's a good lead character, at least in my opinion. Then we have
Inosuke.
He's like a brother, but kind of annoying to me. I know some people really like him as a character. He's just not really for me, especially with that like big forehead. Then we have Zenitsu. I'm like his twin. He's like a brother because I'm like his twin. If I existed in the Demon Slayer world, I would also be afraid of everything and crying. Like I would have, yes, I did buy a Binky prop for this. I would have a Binky and I would be looking at a demon like... as I fled. Listen, I'm afraid of spiders in real life. If I saw a spider that had a human head on it, if I saw that in real life, I would cease to be alive. I would have shat out all of my innards in terror. So, he's like a brother to me. He's like my twin. I see myself in him. Next, we're gonna move on to the Hashiras, okay? The first Hashira is Tomioka, I believe is his name. He's a little bit mid for me. I need to see more of him before I have an actual good opinion. Then we have Uzui. Uzui, I live in LA, so I see a bunch of like anime stores and Tokyo stores, and he was everywhere in regard to merch and still is. And before I watched Entertainment District, I didn't really understand it. Now that I did watch it, he's God tier, especially when he's like, treat me like a god and worship me. Okay, I will gladly.
I am a god!
So he gets God tier status, and the last is my boy over here, the Stone Hashira. I don't really know much about him. I saw him at the end of the first arc, and I was like, my man right there. The muscles, the tears, I like it. He is God tier. I know he is involved in the anime further down the line. I will be seated crisscross applesauce when he returns to our screens. And you guys, that's all for Demon Slayer. Let's take a little bit of a break. Are you guys still alive? Does anyone need to be woken up by me? Let me check to see if this is still recording. I think we're about 25% done. So thank you for sticking with me this long. Let's take a 3-second timeout, okay? Alrighty, you guys, are you good? Okay, next we're gonna move on to... Oh, I just want to add someone really quickly to the marriage tier. This is from Demon Slayer. If you guys know who this character is, I don't know, I'm a realist. If I were in the Demon Slayer world, like I said, where's my Binky? I would have my Binky... and I would be terrified, and chances are I wouldn't be dating any of the big people, like any of the Hashiras. I'd be dating like a guy like this. A little weak, but doing good in the world. But he is marriage material to me. I think he's really cute. So moving along, we have a show called Vampire Knight. I recently started watching this. I'm on season 2 right now. There's only 2 seasons. Pretty much it is a romance story, and it's a love triangle between a human girl and 2 vampires. If you're wondering who the target audience for this show is, it's me. I'm the epitome of the target audience. I was on the wall in the boardroom. I will say though, the main character girl, she is a mop. She is a wet mop. You could replace her with a wet mop and spot the difference. Level impossible. Let's talk about the guys though. First we have Kaname, trash. He's one of the love interests. Then we have Zero. I love Zero. I will say, he is God tier. He isn't very strong, like he isn't like a villain, he isn't anything crazy like the other people in the God tier, but when they were designing his character, again, they were like, who's gonna fall in love with Zero? And I was on the wall. They were like, we're designing this character to meet this man's fantasies, and I was that man that they were talking about. Well, I was like 4 at the time, but, oh no, wait, no, I was 14. Wait, how old was I in 2008? I don't remember. I was born in 1993. You do the math. We're gonna move on to the next show, which is Attack on Titan. I will be entirely honest with you guys. I'm adding Levi to the God tier. This is mainly because I see everyone talk about him. Call me a poser. I try to watch Attack on Titan. I think it's a little bit too straight of an anime for me. I think straight men tend to like it more than somebody like me. I gravitate towards Vampire Knight, so hello. I fall asleep episode like 5 or 6. I've tried now so many times to watch it. I'm gonna get into it. I know who Levi is. I see him everywhere, so I'm putting him in the God tier. I just haven't really seen him in action all that much. Our next group of characters are going to be from Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a good show. Let's talk about Itadori. Itadori is a very good lead for me. He is marriage material. I always want to dress up as him for Halloween. Did that just blink? Damn it. What I was trying to say is I want to dress up as him for Halloween, but I am a little bit afraid to bleach my hair and turn it pink. But anyway, Itadori is husband material. Let's move on to his sexier half though. We have to talk about Sukuna. Sukuna is a curse that ultimately possesses Itadori and makes him more attractive. I guess that's his main ability. I mean, yeah, he makes him stronger too. I don't know what about these black markings on his face suddenly caused such a glow up. Where can I go to get black markings tattooed on my face so that I have a glow up? Somebody let me know, but Sukuna is definitely God tier. I don't know what it is about a villain that makes me simp so hard. Does somebody know? Is there like science behind this? Because I would love to know. But yeah, we're gonna move on to Megumi next. Megumi is a character that I have decorating my bedroom. I love him for whatever reason. I just love that cold, brooding guy. Megumi is definitely husband material. However, I have to acknowledge his dad is God tier. His father, I was watching season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I was watching it subbed. Is this a safe space? I normally watch everything dubbed.
I just have anxiety. Are you sure it's safe here?
Yeah, it's safe there, I promise you.
Well, that subscriber count, if it went up, it's gonna drop down rapidly. Yes, I watch things dubbed. But anyway, I was recently watching the subbed Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 because it's the only way you can watch it. Megumi's dad, instant God tier. Alrighty, you guys, next we have to brace ourselves for a very controversial opinion. I apologize for it in advance. Let's talk about Gojo. Gojo is... sorry, he's a little bit mid for me. I know everyone loves him. Listen, initially when I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen, I was like, Gojo is gonna be the reason that I continue to watch this show, apart from the action. Then he did his little face reveal, and I was a little bit like perturbed, like disturbed, like it was just blinding eyes that I just wasn't expecting. Listen, if you have blue eyes, I'm sure I love them. But brown eyes and like dark eyes are always so underappreciated, and everyone always loves the blue-eyed characters. I love the dark-eyed characters. With the blindfold on, I can use my imagination a little bit, but outside of that, I don't know. Please look out for me tonight, because if anyone watches this video, each view will be a new hit on my life. Next, we're gonna talk about Kuroko's Basketball. Kuroko's Basketball, it's not really like a bingeable series just because, let's be honest, some of those basketball games are very long. But pretty much, it's a show where people play basketball. Taiga, God tier. I'm putting him in the God tier. I loved him as a character. Everything about him was cool to me. I ship him with Kuroko, and in my mind, canon, their boyfriends. And the internet agrees. That's why if you search this anime, you'll see a bunch of people shipping Kuroko and Taiga, and they'll be like laying together, and like Kuroko will be putting a cat on Taiga's head. They're just a good match as a pairing, and I use my imagination, and it's like a gay anime, even though it's not gay. Life hack: if you use some of your imagination, anything could be gay, right? Next, we're gonna move on to Sword Art Online. It's fine. It was fine as a show. I stopped at the Gun Gale arc just because I needed a break from it. I love the idea and the concept behind it. You die in real life if you die in the game. I think that's such a cool concept. It never really feeds me that much though as a show. Love the opening. I love the way everything looks. I think it's a little bit more of a straight anime as well. But Kirito, I will admit, kind of is marriage material though. Next, we're moving on to Studio Ghibli. I recently watched Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. I had never watched anything Studio Ghibli until recently. One of my friends, she loves Howl's Moving Castle. Howl was actually her gay awakening back in the day when she was, I don't know if she was in, it wasn't her gay awakening, it was her sexual, I don't know if it was her sexual awakening. It was an awakening in her. Now that I've finally seen Howl's Moving Castle, I can attest that she was in fact wrong. Howl is overrated in my opinion. I know everyone's gonna be big mad when I say that. I know that's gonna increase the amount of hits on my life, but it is what it is. Next, we're gonna move on to One Piece. One Piece, I am awarding Zoro God tier status just because of the live action. I've seen the live action. I haven't watched much of the anime. I'm sorry, I know that's like a sin. Maybe that'll be the next show I watch after I finish Vampire. Next, we're gonna move on to Food Wars. We only have 5 shows left. There were other shows that I watched like Promised Neverland. I loved Promised Neverland. But there was no standout character that I can really rank in Promised Neverland. It's a band of like 9-year-olds. So there were other animes I watched, but we only have 5 left that Anyway, you guys, next we have Food Wars. Okay. Anyway, you guys, next we have Food Wars. It is a nice break between like crying during Demon Slayer and all the other shows that make me want to die, like serious shows. Food Wars is a nice, although I think I did cry during Food Wars at some point. Was there like some flashback about childhood and cooking? I don't remember, but Yukihira is pretty mid. He's pretty mid as a main character. I do want to talk really quickly about what is his name? I do want to talk really quickly about Kurokiba. I don't know much about him, only on season 2. I like what I've seen so far. He's mysterious, he's dark. I will put him into beginning to simp tier, okay? And next we're gonna move on to Ouran Host Club. I loved this anime, truly. I have 3 episodes left. I'm gonna be sad when this one ends, so I'm prolonging it and I'm not watching the final episodes. Takashi. I love Takashi. Takashi is God tier for me. I know that's ridiculous that Takashi is God tier, but let me explain. He is the tall, silent, handsome type. I love when he picks up Honey and just like walks away with him. He is just such a cool character.
Yeah. Yeah, you like strawberries, right?
He has such a way with words.
Next, we're gonna move on to Tamaki. Tamaki is the one that typically a bunch of people like. I think he's a little bit mid. He's funny, I really like his personality, but yeah, he's a little bit mid. Now let's move on to the rest. Honey, I have nothing to say. We're just gonna put him in he's not trash. We'll put him one above that. We will also put the glasses guy with him. Could not for the life of me remember that man's name. I did like his shopping center episode, but I know nothing about him. I'm gonna say the twins are like a brother to me. I'm the triplet. I love them as characters. I think they're cool characters. I love their arc and their growth, but I'm not super into the whole twin thing. It's just not for me. Now, you guys, we are gonna move on to 7 Deadly Sins. 3 anime left. 7 Deadly Sins, let's talk about Bon. Everyone loves Bon. I think Bon, I'm beginning to simp. I do like him. I don't think he's husband material for me, at least. Then we have Esther Rosa. Esther Rosa kind of looks like Meliodas. Are they? Wait, okay, hold on. Anyway, why can't he be the lead? Why did we get Meliodas? He is like a god tier looking person. So he's going in the god tier. Meliodas, this is what I have to look at the entire time. No shade, like I mean, that was a lot of shade. Listen, I love me a short king every now and again, but the hair doesn't do it for me. The vibe doesn't do it for me. He's kind of a little bit like, he's a mop to me. Him and the girl from Vampire Knight should come together and make a mopping company or something. I just don't vibe with him as a character. He's a little bit bland. Now we're on to the second to last show, which is My Hero Academia. I'm only at the sports festival arc. Let's talk about Ida. I like Ida. Ida, I am beginning to simp for. Nice calves, by the way.
All the way up on my tippy toes, controlling down.
But I like his ability. Glasses and being kind of nerdy, it's growing on me just in general in real life as well as in anime. Let's though talk about Bakugo. Bakugo instant god tier. I never was bullied in high school, so maybe other people have a negative reaction to him being an asshole all the time. Part of me like fantasized back in high school like, oh, some guy's gonna come along and bully me, but because he likes me, because I'm so cool. But that never happened. I just was never bullied. Maybe because I was so cool. Or maybe because I was invisible, who knows? But I just love a good enemies to lover story, and in my mind, I'm like, he would be perfect for an enemies to lover story. Now we're gonna move on to Shinso. Shinso is a character that looks like he has not slept in 3 months, and it works for him. Another character that I'm beginning to simp for from My Hero is Todoroki. Todoroki, I don't know much about. I like his power, I like the fact that his hair is split. Don't know much about him.
I don't know who this man is.
Now, we're moving on to the final anime that we're gonna talk about with our number one. Okay, so I filmed a whole clip talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! I cannot for the life of me find it. It is lost. I'm realizing that now that I'm editing this video. So really quickly, I'm going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! I know you guys are waiting for the number one. I'll go really quickly through Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! So much in middle school and elementary school. I hid it from the entire school. I often joke that I hid my love of Yu-Gi-Oh! More than I hid my homosexuality. That's not really even an exaggeration. But anyway, Tristan. Tristan was my OG anime crush all the way back in the day. He is marriage material. Then we're gonna talk about Valen. Does anyone remember Valen? He was a random character in season 4 or something like that. I don't know if it was his Australian accent. He did things for me back in the day. Merrick is next. I love me a villain. Merrick is overrated. I don't even think he's rated highly to begin with, so I don't know if he's overrated. I just don't really like him. He never was really all that threatening to me. Maybe it's because he always watched the duels and just stood there awkwardly. I don't know. His face also stretched weird. I didn't like him. Didn't like him as a villain. We're gonna move on to Yugi next. I think of Yugi as a brother. I don't really have a positive or negative feeling about Yugi. And last but not least, we're gonna talk about Kaiba. A lot of people love Kaiba. Trash to me. I get it. Visually, maybe he's fine. I don't really think he's anything great. I cannot get over his personality. I wanted to scream every single time he was on screen because people would be banished to the Shadow Realm in front of him and he'd be like, enough with the magic tricks. I just couldn't handle it. Trash.
I've had about all I can take of you people.
Anyway, you guys, on that note, we are gonna move on finally to our number one. You can guess who our number one is in the comment section below. Hopefully you don't get mad. You have to at least admit this person is attractive, okay? We can say this person is a good anime character. You may think they're overrated, but they are my number one as of now. So there is no gray area. It is night and day. There is no gray area because it's gray. Their name is Gray. Gray from Fairy Tail is our number one. Fairy Tail is apparently a polarizing show. I've only just finished The Island. I don't want to get the name of the island wrong. That's recently where I've stopped watching. I'm gonna continue watching. I love Gray. Gray's great. Let's talk about Natsu really quickly though. Natsu, I'm beginning to simp for. I like his fearlessness and he has muscles too. And he has pink hair, he's cool. He's a cool guy. But Gray, the fact that he's always naked, his backstory. I love his backstory, like this damaged backstory. His power with the ice power, he's so cool. Fairy Tail for me reminds me of old school anime that I grew up with, so that's why I'm drawn to it. I heard it becomes a shit show. But until I see it become a shit show, I like Gray. What can I say? That rhymes. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think of this tier list. It's correct. I'm so sorry. It is correct. You have to admit, it is correct. And I'm a genius.
I'm telling you, I have the mind of a mastermind. What's that? I don't know.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my top secret hot man of anime list. So now if you sub to me here and then you sub to my OnlyFans and give me a bunch of money, haha, then maybe you can go watch some of the animes that I've mentioned if you haven't seen them yet. I know I'm a little bit of a newbie right now when it comes to anime, but if you haven't watched any of them, I feel like I have a spot on taste. So comment below if I've missed anybody. If you you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe. I will be making more videos like this on this channel. Maybe I'll be watching more anime, maybe I'll be doing other anime videos, but I will be playing horror games on this channel in addition to playing gay visual novels and random other games. This is gonna kind of be like a gaming channel, so if you're interested, definitely subscribe. I love you guys, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye guys.